So, Ganyu. She's OP, she hits like a truck. Let me show you my stats for my Ganyu. Let me make this disclaimer though real quick before I continue. By all means, this is just a preference for me. You can try out different artifact sets, different weapons. Personally, I didn't really do that much research on how, like, what scale is best for or like what sets. This is just what I used and what worked for me. So recently I just got the Skyward Harp. I switched it, which is pretty nice. Before this I was using the Favonius Warbow, which was still doing pretty good damage. The Blossom after it exploded did about 10,000, and then I think the hits were doing around 5,000 on impact, so it's like 15,000 damage. But I did want to get the Skyward Harp just because I have a tartagila that's like level 1, you can see here. And I plan to kind of build him up next. So I decided just to get this, and this makes a pretty big difference. I can show you later how much damage this does compared to the Favonius Warbow, but this is just what I'm using right now. This helps with critical rate and the damage, especially if you don't have like artifacts that are godlike or don't have the right substats. This can help ease in those artifacts requirements. But honestly, I think Ganyu is pretty good and easy to build. Just try her out, try different things. For me, I'm just using the Wanderer's Tropes here. I'm using Wanderer's Trope because I like this bottom 4-piece set, the charge attack damage, 35%. And let's check these out. So the first one is my flower. Yeah, as you can see here, pretty okay, I guess. Tax percent, which is pretty good. Energy recharge you can always use, and crit damage, solid. Flat stats are kind of whatever. I don't really count them in, kind of just ignore them. They're not really that good because they don't scale up, but it's whatever. You can't always get the perfect artifact. Next piece is my feather, and this is big. The crit damage 29.5%, and with that crit rate, the other two stats, the HPs are kind of whatever. Next is my sands. And as you can see here again, you see that crit damage and crit rate. And if you haven't noticed the trend yet, most of these artifacts have both crit damage and crit rate, or one or the other. And it usually rolls a couple of times, which is pretty good. Next is my freaking goblet. And as you can see, crit rate, crit damage. If I could personally change one artifact for my Ganyu right now, it would be this one. I wish this would be a cryo damage. But those are super hard to get, especially with good substats and a good roll. So, you know, this would do. Honestly, this is pretty good. And finally, my circuit, which you can see here, is crit damage with some crit rate. Good energy recharge. The other two, to mastery and HP, kind of whatever. I was running this before when I had the Favonius Warbow, but since I got the Skyward Harp, it has the built-in crit rate, so I decided to switch out to get more damage. This piece is pretty good, as you see here, pretty good crit damage, HP. Sadly rolled into that. The other stats are two right here, the flat ones, kind of whatever, EM, and it's whatever. But let's go check out my Ganyu. Let's see how much damage she does. As you can see here, I got some monsters. Let's hit that charge attack. And you can see it's like 9,000, and then after the Blossom explodes, it's like 16,000 damage. I say that's around the average right there, compared to like most. Ow. But yeah, it's pretty big damage, I say. And let me see if I could switch right now in battle. So this is with the Favonius Warbow. I guess I can't use this yet. I guess I'll take a cut real quick and then come back. So give me 1 second. Alright, we're back. This time I have equipped the Favonius Warbow. Gosh, this is such a hard name to say. Alright, I also forgot to show my attributes with the Skyward Harp, so I'll do that afterwards. But when I was running this Warbow, I did have this artifact used. I didn't have a crit damage set, I did have this crit rate. So I'm just gonna switch that off real quick. And then let me show you the stats. So you can see the attack is here, 1800. And then you can see crit rate 63.7. I think without the circuit I have, the crit rate circuit, this would be too low because it'd be like around 30%, which is not that good. And then the damage at 170, and then nothing else. So let's see how much damage this does. It's the Favonius Warbow. It is level 80, so it is 10 levels lower than my Skyward Harp. But you can just kind of glance. So yeah, 6,000 and then 10,000 with the explosion, so 16,000 damage, which is pretty good honestly still. considering the fact that it is a level 4 bow, that's easier to get compared to the Skyward Harp. So if you don't have a Skyward Harp, you could use this. You could probably use stringless too. I'm not really sure. I haven't really tested it, but yeah, just gonna say this again. This is what I used, and it works pretty well. And then yeah, let me before I leave, I will show you my stats, my Ganyu with the set I was running before I shed the Favonius Warbow. Okay. Alright, and this is my Ganyu stats with the Skyward Harp and the crit damage artifact set, because I forgot to show in the beginning. So as you can see, the damage did increase by about like 500, so it does make a difference from a 5-star weapon and a 4-star weapon, big difference. And going to stats, you can see a crit rate is the same even without the crit rate artifact, which is why it's super handy. And you can see the crit damage is so much more, so it's much nicer. Everything else pretty much the same. But yeah, this is my Ganyu build. Thanks for watching.